Aerodium has been the first company to introduce the vertical wind tunnel experience for the world. Project we did for one movie for Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible 6. We made the world's biggest wind tunnel to shoot the realistic scenes. Machine was also used to Mark Wahlberg movie, and another was Scarlett Johansson. We rented him the normal open-air tunnel. He said, can we make it bigger? I said, okay, yeah, we can make bigger. How big? He said, how about biggest in the world? We had probably 6 months to deliver the machine, which is gonna be the world record-breaking machine. We shoot very good video, sent this video to Italians, and it appeared that these Italian guys were organizing the closing ceremony for Winter Olympics. They said, oh, let's do the show for a closing ceremony with you. The show was amazing. I was back then the first person in the world flying with a snowboard on an open area. Looking 20 years back, it was not very mature technology. It was very, very noisy. The people barely were able to fly. Yeah? But I was in a trap because I took the loan, around $1 million, to make this happen. I hired engineers, local ones, to fix the machine. We did a very good marketing campaign, and we become famous very quickly. We have built 115 locations for different purposes.
You made two bets, a lot of effort, a lot of time. That's a great lesson of not giving up. Today, welcome to RH1 Unplugged. I'm Claude Reddy, CEO of RH1, and I'm pleased to have on our show today Ivars Beitāns from Aerodium. Ivar, welcome. Welcome to our podcast. Where are you today? Where are you located right now?
Yeah, hey, I'm in Latvia right now. Just on the way from America to Dubai. Just stopped at my house.
Fantastic.
So, thank you for hosting me.
All right. So Ivar, first question for today. Tell us a bit about your company, about Aerodium. What kind of entertainment innovation are you building, and then we'll go into your experience as an entrepreneur in the field of entertainment.
Yeah. So my company's name is Aerodium, and the company is originally created in Canada. It has been the first company to introduce the vertical wind tunnel experience for the world. It happened 1979, and it happened in Montreal. And then that was not me who invented this company. It was Canadian guys, very famous inventor, Jean Saint-Germain, and he is behind multiple inventions, and Aerodium was just one of them. Yeah. So basically, he created some kind of device to entertain primarily his kids. He used to have 12 kids, and these kids become the first flyers. It sometimes happens with inventors. They are very good inventors, but not good on commercializing things. Yeah. So if we talk back 1979 when he started, and I actually was one of his customers who bought the machine for East Europe, for my country, from Latvia, and it happened 2005. Yeah. So from 1979 to 2005, the thing was not even properly commercialized. Yeah, that was the status quo when I joined this company. Yeah.
How did you get into relationship with a Canadian inventor on vertical air flyers?
I used to be already doing some entertainment stuff here in my country. My original activities here. I was the first one to start the bungee jumping. Then I become the cable car operator. Then I built a factory to manufacture the inflatable games. So I was all around the entertainment industry, including I was producing TV show here in my country and in two other countries, which was about challenges for high school students. Yeah. So the wind tunnel become kind of the additional thing to my existing business. Yeah, that was my original idea. So I approached Canadians, I approached some other possible suppliers, and I decided to go with them. And it was purely the cost question, because they were among the cheapest back then. And I bought the first machine. I installed the first machine 2005 here in Latvia. And looking 20 years back, it was not very mature technology because the machine was very loud and it was not very efficient. The people barely were able to fly. Yeah? So it did not met my expectations, definitely. Yeah. But I was in a trap because I took the loan, like around $1 million was taken from bank to make this happen. Yeah. I was in a situation that I needed to fix something, yeah, to make the thing work. Yeah.
Back in 2005,
right.
You went to Canada and you invested $1 million in this pretty new technology, right? It was not. Were there a lot of makers at that time making wind tunnels?
That was exactly the problem back then, because it was just pretty much two manufacturers, like one American company which was called SkyVenture and the Canadians Aerodium. SkyVenture was asking like around 2.5 mil, and the Canadians was okay to sell different technology. We were spending around 1 million for that, yeah. And I didn't went even to Canada. I was actually doing all the business by emails, and then I met a Canadian guy actually in Canarian Islands, not in Canada, because we just decided to meet in the middle.
What was the product looking like when you set it up in Latvia at that time, 2005? Was it for the same purpose as it has today, for entertainment, for guests to come, or was it more for your stunt business?
It was for general usage, for general public, yeah. But to repeat myself, it was not doing great job. It was very, very noisy, and I'm talking super noisy. I'm talking like 120 decibels probably, yeah. I was almost kicked off of the location by city, yeah, because they said, you're making so much noise that people 5 kilometers away are complaining about your machine, yeah. That was big problem. So very hard to start business because of the noise, and then I hired engineers here, local ones, to help me to fix the machine, yeah. And then another turn of these events happened right after the machine, because we did a very good marketing campaign, yeah, and we become famous very quickly, yeah. We approached a lot of journalists. We were on 8 covers of the local magazines. And then everyone talked about us, yeah. And then somehow also our fame went so far that people in Italy also heard about this new venture in Latvia, doing crazy stunts in open air wind tunnel. We were the first one in this field, yeah. And then we shoot very good video for you to understand why we did a great marketing, because I was in the movie business before the wind tunnel business. I was doing the stunts. I was my own stuntman. I was a stunt coordinator. So we approached this machine as also like a fun machine to have fun, yeah, to fly and do stunts and stuff like that. And it looked very cool. We did a great video, and we sent this video to Italians, and then it appeared that these Italian guys were organizing the closing ceremony for Winter Olympics, yeah. Opening and closing ceremony, and they said, "Oh, guys, you're so great. Let's do the show for a closing ceremony with you." I said, "Of course, yes, let's do." To be fair, we didn't have experience, and when you do something on video, it's totally different comparing to if you do it in a real life. Yeah, I'm talking about consistency, because if you do movie, you can do 20 different tries, and if something is not going right, you just make another shot, yeah, and then you edit and you make everything look cool, yeah. We did this kind of approach. We sent to Italians. They said, "Well, guys, you're amazing. Let's do it." But in real life, we were not ready. In real life, we are amateurs, amateur stunt guys who has a very, very big balls, but not knowledge yet, yeah. And then we agreed, and then I will give you the business plan back to this event. Italians agreed to pay me 40,000 euros for this show, and I needed to invest 300 euros just to get there, yeah, to take machine, to modify it, to be able to build it under the stage. I thought it's gonna be once in a lifetime opportunity for my company, for me. And I was back then like around in my 30s. So I thought I will never become like athlete. So I will not be able to be in Olympics. So that's my only.
So that's the only chance to be in the Olympics.
Right. That is my only chance to be in Olympics. So okay, let's do it. Yeah. To make a long story short, we went to Italy. Italians were also opportunistic. Yeah, they took us, but they, didn't had like proper approval that we are really knowing what we're doing. Yeah, so we brought machine, we installed machine on the stage, and Italian producer came up to see our performance, and first of all, machine was noisy, and second, the guys were not able to fly because we trained in machine which is having the kind of the nets around. So when you have nets around you have reference. It's easier to control yourself in open air.
Yeah.
But for a show it doesn't work. For a show we needed to take these nets away to be in open sky, and the situation was that we were not able to fly because we were falling out all the time. And the noise was super high, yeah. And the producer from this Olympic Games, he said, guys, you fix it or you go home, yeah.
You already spent the 300. You're already on site. Okay.
Yeah. And then I said, okay, give us a chance, and then we will train during nights, yeah. So every night before the actual opening ceremony, it was 2 weeks. So we started our rehearsals 4 a.m. in the morning, and we went to probably 7 a.m. just to get to the level that we are able to fly. Yeah? And for duration of a couple of weeks, we really get to the level that we are capable to fly. And actually, again, long story short, the show was amazing. Yeah, we were flown really high. We flown with the skis, with a snowboard. I was back then the first person in the world flying with a snowboard on an open area. So it was a big achievement, and this is how our company actually became famous, and we started. Yeah. So once you have Olympic Games in your portfolio, it's much easier to sell.
We met a few times in Orlando. We met last time in Cannes. You're very strong in marketing. You're very strong in branding. Your brands are very good. Now that I know the story, I understand how you're a big believer in going big or go home, and you put a lot of effort and a lot of time in crafting and crafting these stories and crafting the image of the brand. And that's a great lesson of success. I mean, if you didn't try and you didn't go for it, you made two bets. You made one bet is to buy an equipment off a plan or off a piece by email from Canada, and then the second bet was to continue to push, not to give up, and to go to that Italian Olympics. That's a great lesson of not giving up. Today, I understand you're the number one on the market. Is that right?
Today we are having the most of the projects for third parties. Yeah, we have approximately five-ish projects in a pipeline right now, which are in construction. Yeah, so it's a small industry. Yeah, it's not a big industry, but if serious guys are looking for something serious, they're coming to us. Yeah, like big players like Disney and this level, they always approach us, not go to others. Yeah. So I'm proud. I'm proud what we have achieved, and if you ask about our companies today, the most proud I am actually is the safety features we invented. Yeah, I used to be the stuntman and the stunt coordinator, and my job was to keep my people safe. Yeah, and in my 10-year stunt career, I had only one accident. Yeah, which is very minor. Yeah. That's something which I brought from stunt industry to this industry, and we came with solutions to make the flying really safe. Yeah, and we invented the safety cushions for the open air wind tunnels, which are we don't have accidents anymore. Yeah, and also for indoor tunnels. I am proud to say that the new generation of wind tunnels, we came up with a new safety features since 2019 has zero accidents. Yeah.
Remind us how many locations you have worldwide right now.
We have built 115 locations for different purposes. Yeah. Some of them are, let's say, not open for public. It's like military facilities. Like we have one in South Korean army. Yeah, we have another in Moroccan army, and so on. Yeah, so people will not go there. Yeah, but they're still operating. Yeah, and again, talking about safety, I was super proud that when I came to meet General in South Korea in Seoul, he said, since since you brought this machine to us, we have zero, fatalities of paratroopers. If I leave some heritage, that's my heritage, which I'm proud of. Yeah, safety. And then when you have the safe machine, you can accept. I also have 3 kids, for example. Yeah, and I can be sure my kids will be safe. They will not get injuries during this activity. Yeah. So that's very, very important in this industry.
On all the locations that you have across, what is your biggest market today?
Middle East, yeah. Right now the Middle East is very hot. It used to be China. Like if you look 5 years ago, it was China. We kind of follow the dreamers, because our products are always bought by dreamers, by somebody who is developing the new market, developing new facilities. And when China was growing, it was there. Right now, the Middle East is growing rapidly, And also we have a couple projects in Europe which are already signed and gonna appear soon, in a year or two.
And who are the main investors or companies that purchase your equipment? Is it property developers? Are they FECs besides the military?
Yeah, right now the biggest market for us, I would like to say that probably 90% from our customers are the shopping malls, big malls, the big developments, And I like this customer because it's win-win. It's win for them because for them it's a challenge to convert the retail into entertainment. There is a term, it's called retailtainment, So that's what they want to achieve. They need reason for people to come and to watch something really cool, something never seen before. And then in many countries, this activity is still totally new, And then we just signed a deal in Saudi Arabia. We have 4 wind tunnels going to Saudi Arabia. As I talk, the one is operational already. Another 3 is in a pipeline. For them, it will be something new. And also, what I want to point out is that this business is also it's stable. It's stable in terms of revenue generator. And then I can give you the numbers from Ukraine. And the Ukraine is in war right now, but we are very stable with the revenue. We are growing in Ukraine market. We opened in 2023, and 2024 is actually even better. And then January of 2025, broke all the records. We are very, very high on the revenue. And it's good for mall because they got some new interesting activity. Plus, we structured the deal in a way that we are operating for them, and they are getting revenue back. In Ukraine, right now the projection is in 5 years. So in 5 years, the revenue is paying for the investment, which is good comparing to the malls. They are looking, let's say, 3 to 7% as a return, and the wind tunnel is making 20% return, which is good.
And on top of that, I believe that you're not going to have. Every mall is not going to set up a wind tunnel, so whoever has the first wind tunnel is really going to bring a lot of differentiation to that location versus the others. It shows a position of strength for the mall who's ready to take on. You call it retail entertainment, or we use mall entertainment in our jargon. But I think we're seeing eye to eye that it's how to create a new environment for the shopping malls where people want to entertain versus just going for shopping. I've seen some of your products having the customers, visitors looking around in those glass, beautiful tunnels, seeing children's or shows, even evening shows, evening stunts. It's really special.
The big portion of our business is actually existing malls, which are struggling. I will not mention the exact malls, but we have a bunch of these guys approaching us and saying, okay, let's do something, because we used to do a great business 10, 20 years ago, but right now we're struggling because the retail is not working anymore. I just recently was in one country. They have mall right in a capital, right in the center. and only the first and second floor are busy. The third and fourth floor are empty, totally empty, because retail is just going away from the mall. Yeah. So they desperately need to do some renovation. They need to put some new content into this building, yeah. And the building is a prime location. It's right in the center, yeah. And these are our customers to convert the existing facilities into something amazing.
So Ivar, I want to go back a bit. I mean, we started with Canada, we moved to Italy. I want to go back a bit about Aerodium and the company. So how did it start? Still don't have the connection between your background as a stuntsman and then going into building your own brand. How did this, was this more like an opportunity, or you liked the wind tunnel? How did this continue to become where Aerodium is today and having over 100 locations worldwide, still continuing to grow from 2005 until now, 2025, 20 years later? What's the journey there?
So at the beginning, I was looking to myself as a representation of a Canadian brand. Like I was the guy who was pushing the Aerodium into the market in Europe. Yeah. Then something happened in a family of original inventor. The son of who was actually continuing this business got cancer and died. Yeah. In 2009, the guy was not with us anymore. Yeah. And then the family was saying, okay, we don't have anyone willing to continue this business, and maybe you want to take over. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. I paid some money to family, and then I took over the brand in 2009. And for me, I was not buying technology, to be honest. I was buying the heritage, the history, yeah. And this history really worked great for me, because for some big tenders, let's say for military tenders, for example, yeah, you cannot be like a new company, yeah. You have to have some heritage. You need to have some history to believe you, yeah. And that's what I was getting from Canadians. And so history from Canada, and then the technology from my newly hired engineers, yeah, from Latvia, yeah. Because we have both of these components, we were good positioned in the market, and then plus we had this first mover advantage, because we were the first. We got all the big deals, like for example the first one I told you already, Olympics. Then shortly after we got the World Expo. We were the general contractors for the government to build the Expo Pavilion. And when we had this deal, we pushed the boundaries, and we invented the new stuff to be even greater as a product. Yeah. So we were the first to build the rounded shaped glass, because before us it was all like polygonal, like flat surfaces of the glass. We made it round, we made it very tall, and it became like our signature in industry. So we were the first to build really nice facilities, not just the facilities for skydivers. And also around that time, it appeared that in the world there is not so much like guys like me and you, yeah, willing to do the crazy stuff. I quickly realized that actually our customer is general public and families and kids. And if in the first year of my operations I was putting on these billboards the strong guys, yeah, I quickly realized that I need to put women, I need to put on billboards kids, I need to change my business structure, because there is much more kids, much more women, much more normal people than thrill seekers, yeah, because we run out of these extreme guys very quickly. And that was another turning point from a business perspective, to democratize this, yeah, to make
What is the starting age for a customer to join to try Aerodium? 4 years old. That's the minimum age.
4 years old, yeah. 4 years age, and then because if you have the 4-year-old kid, it's not so clear if he will like it, yeah, if he will like this experience, because it's big fan. It looks. little bit threatening, this big machine for a kid. Some kids are not willing to experience for a long time, but so we came up with a very democratic approach. We said, okay, if your kids will not like, we will, very cheaply, like 1 minute only, and then they can try. If they'll not like it, we don't need your money, to fly longer. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So the entry price is really cheap. Like in my country, it's 19 euros only. Yeah, for a kid. When a kid come, maybe he is coming with a family, and then maybe the parents just was willing to let one kid fly. End of the day, all of them has flown. Yeah. When you see your kid flying, you start to be willing to fly yourself. Yeah. And when somebody come in willing to spend 19 euros, end of the day, they spend probably a couple hundred euros. Yeah, because everyone flown. And what we learned also from our experience in the malls, we have 70% of impulsive customers, which means that only 30% was coming willingly to do exactly this activity. 70% just was hanging around and, okay, let's try. That's how it works, yeah.
Are these customers that come back, or are there more like unique visitors?
It's another interesting approach. I will give away my business secrets. I can say, I can teach industry a little bit. Yeah, we have multiple kinds of customers. Yeah, there are customers who will just try it once, and these are actually it's called bucket list experience customers. Yeah, probably some adult in age, let's say 30, 40. Yeah, they will try once. They will never come back. Yeah. Then there is another group of customers, and these are the kids. Kids are willing to come every week. In Ukraine, in Kyiv, for example, we have kids who are approaching this as a every week activity. Yeah, every week they're coming, and then the parents of these kids are spending thousands for this activity just to be in a level. And then we made the kids competition. Kids start to compete to each other, and
it's a community. You're creating communities around a common passion.
Right. Correct. Yeah. The third group is professional flyers. For them, it's a sport. Yeah. They come again and they spend extensive amount of times to use this activity and become good in this flying. Yeah. Mm. And then these guys are typically flying in our low times. Let's say we allow them to fly early mornings, late evenings, sometimes in the night time, yeah, because they pay much less for the time of flying, but they are recurring customers. That's a kind of the three levels. To answer your question, we have this one-time customers and we have these recurring customers. Gotcha. Two groups of recurring.
Just for those who are not familiar with wind tunnels. Is this a product that is single rider, single flyer, or you can have multiple flyers at the same time?
If you're a beginner, it's always just you, yeah, because different people has different weight, different people react differently, and then it's impossible to make the air equal for two different guys. Let's say for a heavy guy and a small kid. They will always be, kid will be up there and the heavy guy will be here. So it's dangerous. Yeah, we are not allowing this. We are letting the beginner inside the wind tunnel together with instructor, so he can always correct the position if something go wrong. Yeah, and but if you get good on this flying, you can start flying together with others. Yeah, and then these are the from the group of recurring customers. Kids can fly together. Professional flyers can, or athletes can fly together. That's how it works.
Out of all the projects that you have, what is the one that you would recommend? What is your special one or your favorite one around the world?
If I say the others will not be happy.
Well, the one that was maybe the most challenging or the most exceptional in terms of setup or demographics.
There are projects which are very good and very shiny to come and look. For example, the latest one in Macau, which is sitting inside the building next to casino, next to hotel. So it's very very pretty, very good environment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also that's one of the latest and greatest technologies. That one I'm proud of. Yeah. Proud also for another mall which is in Ukraine. Yeah, and I'm proud about the product, and I'm proud about the team. I'm proud about our approach that we opened during the wartime, and it was challenging. The biggest challenge for me was actually to get my team come in under the missiles, and work, to do the normal job. And then 2023, when we launched this project, it was 50-50 chance the opening ceremony will be cancelled, because if the rocket is coming in, everyone go to bombshell. It was challenging, and at the end of the day, I'm proud that we did it. People are asking, if it's ethical, to open entertainment during the wartime. And my answer is that, imagine it's your childhood. Imagine you're 3 years in a war, and that's your the childhood you're growing, let's say from 5 years to 8 years. What you're gonna do? You're gonna be just sitting and crying 3 years in a row. And you need positive emotions, right? That's what we did, and I'm still really happy about this project. And as I said, it's also performing good in terms of revenue.
It's a very brave move. It's the first time actually I'm hearing that. I didn't know that you had also projects in Ukraine. What was the lead time to set up from the time the project started to the opening ceremony? What is the usual time for the setup of a wind tunnel?
Usually it is 1 year, but it happened to us that we started building this project in 2021 before war, and we were scheduled to open in 2022 in March. And in February Russians came in, so the project was opening was cancelled because war started. But after 1 year of the war, my team came in again just to finalize it and to make it open for public. So that was the story for Ukraine. But if we go back to this interesting and cool projects, I am also proud of project we did for one movie for Tom Cruise. And the challenge for that project was Tom Cruise wanted to make very realistic flight scenes for his movie Mission Impossible 6. And we rented him the normal open air tunnel for his movie to shoot. But Tom Cruise is also a guy with big ambitions. When he started to train this flying, he said, okay, can we make it bigger? I said, okay, we can make bigger. How big? He said, how about biggest in the world? Then we had, if I'm not mistaken, we had probably 6 months to design and to build and to deliver the machine, which is going to be the world record-breaking machine, the biggest in the world, just for one guy, for Tom Cruise. It was very challenging in terms of speed of development, speed of execution, speed of and also it's similar to Olympics. It's very risky. If you make something new, you never know how it will be.
And so at this time, the development is no longer in Canada. We're full 100% back in Latvia now.
Right. We never developed in Canada, to be honest. We just bought the first machine from Canada. Back to the Tom Cruise story, he was super happy, and he used this machine as a marketing tool for the movie. And he said, for our movie, we made the world's biggest wind tunnel to shoot the realistic scenes, which was true. So that was cool experience. And then before COVID started, actually, this machine was also used to 2 more movies. One was Mark Wahlberg movie Infinite, and another was Scarlett Johansson in a movie.
Is it rented by you, or is it still belongs to the movie industry?
Once the movie was done, the studio proposed us to buy it back. We bought it back, and then we rented to other movies.
Great.
But then COVID started, and all the movie industry was, what happened. But the machine, I can hint you that machine will be in use this year again for something really great. In America this time.
Okay, great. So moving on, I know that today our conversation is really about Aerodium, but I do know that you're involved in other activities, and when you didn't stop with the wind tunnels, there's other industries that you also explored. Do you want to share a bit about that?
Everyone has their talents. My talent is kind of I think I'm very innovative. Yeah, I see things other people don't. Yeah, when I talk to even to big guys, when I talk to Disney, I saw something other people was not imagining. Yeah, their creative people don't see the same dreams as I see. Yeah, so my creativity is some kind of value. That's my talent. Yeah, and right now we kind of imagined another new zipline. Yeah, which was built last year, 2024, was built in Latvia. And that's the world's first zipline, which is running on horizontal cable. Yeah, so all the ziplines has like mountain, and you just go downwards. Yeah, on zipline. Yeah. Our zipline is horizontal, which give you the lot of opportunities to travel on flat areas. And all the wealthy areas in the world are mostly the flat. Like big cities are the flat. The big parks are flat always. Yeah. So we have the turbines on the zipline. We accelerate really fast. We go 100 kilometers per hour on this zipline. And we also solved all the biggest zipline problems. If you know from statistics, the biggest accidents and biggest insurance claims in ziplines happens from three main reasons. First reason is when you go down, brakes fail, so you crash into the landing. Another possible scenario is you go, somebody else is going after you, and you crash with other people. Yeah. Or the third, which is amazing for me to hear, actually the one of the biggest accidents and safety concerns are when you are finished your ride, somebody takes you in a car and brings you back to the starting point. You cannot believe, many accidents happens during this road. Yeah. Cars, crashes, a lot of stuff, yeah. So that's are the 90% of the accidents in zipline industry, and with our zipline, none of these risks exists, yeah. So you go just one trolley is going here and it's retrieved backwards, so there's no other people to crash. There is no even brake because we use the gravity. Yeah, so it's stopped naturally by gravity, and it's amazing, and we don't have necessity to bring people back to the initial point. So that's our new product. We just started to launch it, and lot of interest. To be fair, we don't have the first deal signed yet, but at least 20 people in the pipeline, ready to launch, sometime soon.
I saw some of the photos. I mean, we're not going to spoil it, but I still want to focus on Aerodium today, and we'll probably have another chance to go and deep dive on another episode on that one. But the photos of the product really are attractive. The designs again, and I kind of repeat myself on the marketing and on the branding. You did a hell of a job there. It really looks good. It really looks good.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Just two more questions for you. Tell us maybe more on a entrepreneurial or as a business owner, a business operator, maybe some of the advice you would give to a mall operator or an investor who wants to come into the industry. Any suggestions that you would like to give? Any good learnings or lessons that you would like to share for someone who is interested in coming into this industry of entertainment? And is looking for great products or great experience for their customers.
Okay, if we talk to the mall owners, yeah, the mall owners are very conservative people. They're not like thrill seekers. Yeah, they are very much in the money side. Yeah, if they invest something, they want to see clear path how the investment will come back. Yeah. What I can say to them, the product is not all. Yeah. The operation is the key. Yeah. How do you operate this machine after it's built? If let's say even 5 years ago we were looking to ourselves as a technology providers, right now I'm looking to my company as operator as well. Yeah. And we has gained a lot of knowledge what exactly works and what doesn't. Yeah. And this knowledge is a key, to be honest. And the mall owner should hire the good operator, or in some cases we also become operators. Yeah, let's say in Kyiv, for example, we also operate that facility. But you can turn a nice investment into disaster, or you can make an investment into the profitable venue, and that's all about operation. all about operation. Yeah. If I would talk to new entrepreneurs, if you're the young guy willing to become the business owner, you need to realize you will fail multiple times. That's according to the statistics. 80% from the startups are failing in the first 2 years. Yeah, and I'm not only the success story. I also has failed multiple times. When you talk the good story, you are not telling the bad part of the story. Yeah, that's obvious. Yeah, that's part of marketing you just mentioned. Yeah, because you don't want to be seen as a loser. Yeah. But to be fair, to be honest, of course, I failed. Yeah, I failed multiple times. But every time you fail, you need to look what was your mistake and why you failed, and not to make the same mistake in the future. Yeah, be ready to fail.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Ivar. One last question before we go. Any books that you would recommend? Any favorite live to book that you like to share that you feel is really helping you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur in your journey?
I used to read a lot of books when I was starting. Yeah, but right now what I have understood, you need to know basics, of course. Yeah, which are typically been taught in the schools. Yeah. But books are always about past. The books are, in many cases, books are applicable to big companies, because it's very easy to read the book about Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs are dealing with billions, yeah, was dealing with billions, yeah, or Microsoft or whatever. It does not apply to the normal guys. Look, if you are the normal small business owner like me, yeah, none of these knowledges are really relevant to you. Your knowledge has to come from the same small guy who has probably built something, failed something, and learned something on the way. Because you need to play in your league. Yeah, I hope that's the thing I can advise. And then what I'm learning from the cases more. I talk to the other people. I talk to same level guys, and then I learn. I learn from my customers many times. Books first. It has happened a long time ago. Most of the cases, and second, it's different league.
Fantastic.
So that's my advice.
Ivars Beitāns, Aerodium in Latvia. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for hosting me, and I hope it was interesting.
Fantastic. See you soon. Probably see you in IAPA in Orlando near the month of October, November usually. And until then, all the best.
You too. Bye-bye.